Okay, so what I did, I simply ran a command npx create react app employee react app, and this has created a React app in my folder. If I go and open this, it must be somewhere here. Okay, this is where it has created this. Okay, wait, I don't think this is what it just created. It created, so I think somewhere inside this one. This one is what is created, employee React app. Okay, inside this, it has initialized all the basic components which a React app requires. It has also installed node modules which contains the dependencies which this app requires. And this is a very basic, very simple app. I can make it run. So what I have to do is, it is asking me to do a CD here, change directory here. So I simply do that. And this is what is present as an employee React app, which I was just showing you here. And then what we do is we say npm start. npm start will bring my React app up. It is asking some app is already running. I will say no, let me stop it. If there is an app running, let me see. I think something is running somewhere. Let me stop that. I don't want to reuse another port. So let me try again, npm start. And this will start my my app. Let me show that in a browser, which is this one. Let me show that here. So this is the app which I just installed. So it has its own page, its own initialized page, which automatically got created. But we need to modify this because we are trying to create an app which reads an external API. In our case, it will try to go and read the employee Spring Boot API and return and retrieve the employee list from there and print it. So that is what we'll try to do today. Okay. Now let me go back here. Okay. I will have to go and open it in a IDE. Usually Visual Code is what is being used. It's better to use Visual Code for JavaScript, but I am opening this in IntelliJ only because I'm more used to use IntelliJ. So I will just go and open, and I will go to IntelliJ projects, and I will go and open. This is my project. Okay, so I will open this. Okay, so this is my basic React app. In the source, I have these basic files. What I'll do next is I will go and add a component. So I will go to create a directory. I will say components. Inside this, I will create a component, a file. Let's call this employee list.js. Okay. And here is what we will go and write the actual logic of calling the API. But I need to import this in my app here. So I will simply write the import statements, but maybe we'll do that later. Yeah, go on.
We can't see screen, sir.
You can't see screen. You can't see my IntelliJ employee React app. I've opened employee React app. You can't see that. Oh,
No.
okay. Okay. Employee React app. Employee React app. Why can't you see? Okay. Can you see now?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Something not right with the sharing feature also here. Employee Spring Share 5. Okay, I've shared all the screens. Okay, where was I? So I'll go back to my application, which is here. So I've added employee list.js, okay, and this is the component inside which I will write the logic of calling the API, okay. And then I have app.js. This is where I need to provide or import this employee list component, okay. These are the only two things which I will do, okay. So I will not go into the nitty-gritties of React because that is not my area, but I will only explain the code snippet which is responsible for fetching the um, the API content, okay, and how it will go and display it. So that part is what I will show. Okay, I already have that written. So what I'll do is I'll just simply quickly copy it. Okay, okay, I'll go here and copy and paste here. Okay, see what I've done here. It's a simple component, React component. It's a JavaScript file. I have employee list.js, employee.list.js. I have extended this with React component class. Then I had this employees state, and then this is a React hook component did mount. This automatically gets executed the moment the moment page is rendered or loaded. It automatically gets executed. This function automatically gets executed. And what is the content? What the content present inside is another object call which has a method get. This is called as Axios. So Axios is a way by which you can call an external API. Any external API you want to call, any HTTP request response you want to do, operation request response operation you want to do, you will go and use a library called as Axios. Okay. Uh, have you done that before, Ashwini? As Suhas already covered this part.
Yes, sir. But we use TypeScript.
No, have you used Axios before? Axios.
No, no.
Yes, sir.
No. Okay. So Axios is also something which we definitely need. So maybe I'll check with Suhas if he could cover it, how that can be used. But Axios is what is required to make a HTTP call to your API. And it is a library. It has to be there in the package.json, which is not there yet. So you need to actually install it. So you have to write the command npm install Axios, and this will install Axios to your library, project library. Okay. Okay, fine. Now Axios is installed, and here all I am doing, you see, all I'm doing is I'm saying axios.get, and then the URL. Okay, so right now all I'm doing is to get. I'm just trying to get the request from get the employee list from this API, which is hosted where this is hosted in my local machine. This is where it's hosted. Okay, I need to do what? I need to go and run this. So I'll go and quickly say run, stop and rerun. So API is now running on the port 9000 here. Okay, and if I go here, the app is running. This is the app which you know already. Swagger UI is what I'm using to see what my API is capable of doing. All the endpoints are listed here. So this is how would I know what is the endpoint for get? So if I go to get, I say execute. I'll say try it out, execute. I get a URL here, request URL here, or maybe here. So this is my request URL, which I need to go and copy, and I need to go and paste in my Axios call. So Axios.get. If I want to post it, I will say Axios.post. If I want to get, I will say Axios.get. Okay, and I put the URL here. And then once I make the call, Axios will then return a promise, something called as promise. So this is what again has to be covered in the React sessions. But then in the promise, I'm saying Axios.get, and then this is the response. So I'm now trying to fetch the response. And how I'm doing that? I'm saving the response to a state variable, which is employees, and I'm saying employees.response.data, and this will return me the body of the response. So if I show you the same thing here, this is the response. Right now there's nothing present, so it's not coming, but whatever is the response, it will go and get saved in the data part. So response.data will go and get saved in the employees, which is this one, and which is also actually going and getting set in the set state. So basically this is a local variable here, and then this is going to be saved with the this.set state, and I'm setting employees here. Okay, and what I'm doing next is, once this method is called and everything is saved in the employees variable, I am actually rendering the HTML. So I'm simply saying render and return the list of all the employees. So I'm saying under UL this.state.employees.map, and I'm saying employee, and I'm kind of iterating. So whatever this list, this, because this will return a list of employees, right? So I'm iterating this, and every time I iterate this, I am capturing it in the list, all the details of that specific employee in a list, and it will keep on running, keep on adding more lists uh, as there are number of employees returned. So there are five employees returned. It will show me five lists with five different employees, and all I'm doing here is printing different values. So I'm printing employee.name, employee.age, employee.department, employee.designation. I'm just using this as a delimiter. These are nothing but a plain. Um, Instead of this, maybe I will just simply use this one. It's a pipe symbol just to separate two values. Huh? So all I'm doing is printing the values which are being returned. Okay, and now let's see. So if I go back here again, I will say npm start. Oh, I've already made it have that started. Let me stop that. And if I go and run this again, so npm start, development server started, and if I go and check the result, it's still the same, sorry. So I need to actually go and replace this in the app.js as well. So in the app.js, I have this old method, old function being called, which is returning something else, something by default, which my create react app generated. I need to replace this with the actual call. So I will replace this with I will replace this with this one. So I'm simply saying function app return class name employee, not employee add. I don't want employee add at the moment. Employee list. Okay. All I've done is, this is my component. This component runs this method automatically. This method returns the list of all the employees. That list gets saved in the employees state. That is what I am. And then this component returns, renders, and returns a list. Okay, and the list, it iterates all the employees, and it prints the different attributes of that object which is actually being returned. And then in the app.js, all I'm doing is importing this component employee list. So I've imported employee list from here, and then in the function app, I'm just rendering it. Okay, and now I don't have to rerun it because it's already ran. I go here, I see nothing. Okay, if I go and show inspect, I see why there is nothing. I go to network, I refresh it again, I get something. I get that there is a call, employee call. So if I go here, I see that there is a localhost 900 employee. The call has been made, but there is a problem with the call, and the problem is CORS error, CORS error. Now this comes why? Because if a browser is making a call which is not present in the same origin, if the URL and port is different, then API rejects it, or rather, the browser also rejects it. Actually, the browser which rejects it. Okay, so how to handle CORS? The CORS has to be handled. Now this is a security feature. It saves you from a lot of hacking which happens, and CORS is a default feature enabled in all the modern applications and frameworks, and it automatically discards any calls which are coming from a different origin. So here the origin is different, localhost 3000, right? This is a different URL altogether. Origin here means URL. Localhost 3000 is different than uh, okay, what I'm showing you. Sorry, I'm not showing you the right screen. I was supposed to be showing this one. I'm sorry. Let me inspect it here. Network. So if I do this, I'm seeing that it is a call to this API, which has been blocked. Why? Because of a CORS issue, CORS error, right? Cross origin request, right? So this is blocked. The reason it's blocked is it's a security feature embedded in all the modern browsers as well as modern frameworks, which disallows any call coming from a source which does not have the same origin. So here the origin for this app is localhost 3000, right? But the API is running on localhost 9000. That means that two are coming from different origin. They're not on the same URL. And that's the reason React app here browser has discarded it. Okay, an API also have discarded it. So how to handle CORS is in your Spring Boot. So if I go to Spring Boot here in my application, uh, in my controller, if you see, I have something written at the top but commented. It's called as cross origin. So I can say I want to allow any connection coming from this origin. So this is the error which you got, which you actually received here. Let it go, which you received here. Sorry, where did it go? Here. Sorry, I've lost the page. Did I deleted it? Huh. The error which you actually received here, it's been sent by the API. The API is saying the request to me has come from an origin which is not equal to localhost 9000, because it is only supposed to be accepting the request coming from 9000. But this is coming from a URL which is localhost 3000, right? So it is saying it's coming from a cross origin, so I will discard it. To make my API understand that this is a trusted source, a trusted origin, I have to mention something like this: cross origin, origins, HTTP localhost 3000. That what I'm trying to say here is any request which comes from this, please accept it. Okay. So now if I say cross origin this and I restart my application again, stop and rerun. Okay, so it ran, and now I will go back here, and this time if I say start, there's no CORS. Okay, there's no error coming. So request has went, API responded with some values. What value it responded? The response, if I go and check here, response headers and response was empty. Why? Because there is nothing in the get. Here also, if you see, there's nothing here. So first I need to go and initialize this. So I'll say initialize with try it out, execute. Okay, and this has initialized. If I do a get here, I get values, and if I now refresh this, I get the details. Okay, so this time employee has made a call, and this was a response which was written from the API. Okay, I can even make some changes here, and that will be reflected. I don't have a post here. I don't have yet have a functionality in my React app to create an employee. Okay, all I can do is to print whatever is there. So what I'll do is, just to show what this is, I mean, how this works, I will simply say post. I'll say new employee as, let's say, Ashwini, execute, and maybe uh, Sanket, execute. And now if I go and search it here in the front app, I get to see the results here. Okay, so this is how a front end and a back end integrates. Okay, the simple logic of that, how that works is using React, and the React I'm using a specific library called as um Axios. Okay, um, any questions so far? How this is happening? Okay, what we will do next is, maybe I think today, since we started late, I cannot continue more, but I wanted to show the post part as well. That will actually take more time, which I don't have at the moment. Okay, so I will not do that. But what I'll do is I will publish this on a Bitbucket or a GitHub repository. Okay, and from there you will find another component here, employee list. You will have another component called as employee add. Okay, and then it will have a form, and you will fill the form with all the details of the employee, and when you click on add, it will go and add also. And similarly, we will have to go and create all the different forms. So employee add, and then if you want to edit it, if you want to delete it, so all that forms we will have to add, and this is how we develop the our application. Okay, so once we complete this also, then we will go and jump onto our actual application of Practo like application, a health appointment booking system between patient and doctor. So next task which we have is this one, where we go and develop this front end app to interact with our backend API of employee. Okay,